What is up, my friends and fellow collectors out there? Today in the house, we have the Darth Sidious Mythos statue. It's time for Nerdgasm. Welcome back, my friends, to another unboxing video. If this is your first time on the channel, we do a lot of talk of collecting on this channel. We go on toy hunts, we do hot toys videos, we do statue unboxings and all kinds of other cool stuff like that. So if you're into that kind of stuff, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you can stay up to date on all of the content. All right. So in the house today, I have the Darth Sidious Mythos statue. Gotta admit, this is my least anticipated piece of the Mythos line. I'm hoping when I get it out of the box, my thoughts on it are going to be different. I'll let you guys know more about that when we get to the end and I'll tell you my thoughts about this piece. But I got this one over at Sideshow. I was able to use my points on it, so I got it for a lot less than retail. But I guess if you're using your points, you're paying retail. So either way, it's 1/6 of this, half of the other. I didn't have to come out of pocket as much as I would have if I had just bought it straight up. So, you know, I needed to complete the Mythos collection, which is why I picked this one up. But if you're into these kind of stuff, if you're into high-end statues and hot toys and things like that, make sure you check out Comic Concepts because they got this one on there for a little bit less than you can get it at Sideshow. And if you're gonna pick up the Mythos line, at least don't pay full retail for it. That's all I gotta say. So I'll leave a link in the description below for you guys to get to it. It's called Comic Concepts. Make sure you check them out. All right, so let's take a look at the box. This one here is a little bit different than the last two boxes I've gotten. They've all been very big though, you know? They really get massive size for these boxes, especially considering it's a 1/5 scale statue. I think I've got 1/4 scale statue boxes that are not as big as this. But here's the box. So this is the front, just like all of the other Star Wars stuff that you're gonna get. They're gonna have those gray lines that come around the side. You got the Sidious there, and it says Star Wars Darth Sidious Mythos on this side and statue. And then on this side here, you got the gray and the black and Star Wars at the top. On the back, you have Sidious again and Sideshow. And then on the side, you have the gray and the black thing, and then you're back to the front. Back to the front. All right, so let's get this thing out of the box and take a look at the packaging, and then we'll get it assembled. All right, so there it is in the foam. This is how it comes packaged. As you can see, just like with the Maul and the Ventress, the lightsaber is in a nice protective plastic. It's definitely not as taped up as the Ventress was, just like with the Maul, but it still looks packaged pretty well. It looks like it already comes with a robe on them. So let's get it out of the box and see how quickly we can get this thing assembled. All right. Let's get this thing out of the box. Let's see what we're working with here. As usual, let's start off with the bases because, you know, that's where we gotta start. All right, so we got a Mustafar inspired base, right? Looks okay. And you got the bottom. They made 2,000 of these Darth Sidious. I want to call him Emperor Palpatine, but that's how I know. But Darth Sidious, one number 1,287. So I'm up there. Can't believe they made 2,000 of these things. All right, so there you go. All right, let's see what's next. I guess next is the body. Okay, he's got the cloak. Unlimited wrinkles. Shit, this is gonna take a lot of work to make look good. Oh my God. Yeah, and then he's looking like he's floating, right? Let's get the head on it. Hold on a second. I'm Mary Poppins, y'all. Or, you know, you got like Harry Potter, be like, you got to mean it, Harry. I feel like you got to cast a Patronus spell on him or something like that. Or maybe like the Red Skull would be like, consider me a guide to you and to all who seek the Soul Stone. Oh, shoot. All right, so this guy gets in here like, look at that. There's like a real small pin, and then it goes right in like a glove. Yeah, there's definitely gonna be some off-camera work of me fixing this this cloak. This cloak needs some help. All right. Oof. All right, so you got a hand that goes over here, I think. that, I guess. You got his electricity hand. Okay. And got his belt thing that goes here, I guess. That. All right, and then you got the optional hand that has the lightsaber. This one's taped up like they did with the Ventress. So, I wonder why they didn't tape Maul's. And they felt that Maul's was heavy enough to hold in there. Definitely displaying it with the lightsabers because at least they got the lightsaber right. That's definitely accurate to the movie. Let's pop that up there. Lightsaber. All right, and there you go. Okay, so I am going to attempt to make this look somewhat presentable, and then we'll do a review. All right, there it is all put together. Got the cloak somewhat shaped and put in position, and tried to hide the feet a little bit. Yeah, I want to try to say something good about the statues, but I know there's work that goes into these things, and I don't like knocking down people's work. But I mean, I out of all of the Mythos statues that I have, this is now my least favorite statue of the Mythos line. Got here is the Kathleen Kennedy approved Darth Sidious. If this was Dave Filoni or Jon Favreau on this, I don't think this would have made it past the design stages. You know, there's so many things they could have done. You know, going through the Clone Wars and reading some of the comics, the different outfit that Palpatine had back then, and just how badass he was during the Clone Wars. You know, this is a guy who is the puppeteer behind everything, right? The guy that formed Darth Maul into the weapon of destruction. You know, he used Count Dooku, he used Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker, you know, to his own means to all shape and mold the galaxy into the Empire, right? So having him floating over lava, it just doesn't feel right for me, man. It just, you know, I look at this and, you know, he looks like a Dementor from Harry Potter when I see this, or, you know, Red Skull, you know. If this is what you liked, and I don't want to, you know, take and crap out on your piece. If this is what you wanted, you know, this is what we're getting. You know, so in that sense, Sideshow showed us this image. This is what they showed us. This is what we bought, and they delivered exactly what you would expect. About the only thing that I can say that I really like about this piece is that they have a very strong wire in the cloak so that you can take and try to mold this cloak, you know, and shape it the way that you want to. So you have Sidious here floating over lava, which what I'm assuming is Mustafar, and I think it's meant to be more of a companion for the original Darth Vader Mythos statue that they had. But when I look at the paint job done on this compared to the one on Vader, Vader has this more of like a molten red, you know, going on down here, which is much more vibrant, I think, than what we're seeing here in the paint. Although the paint here has a lot of different colors, so I think that's cool. It just seems more rich on the Darth Vader than it does on this piece. I think they could have pushed that a little bit more. The sculpt of the base is really cool. I like the rocks and stuff like that, and all the texture work that they have there. I think that looks really good. The things that I don't see to translate well here, as it did with Vader, is that in Vader's case, the cape that he had and his whole outfit was sculpted, you know, and then in this case, Sideshow gave us a mixed media, you know, for us to mold, or us to take and shape and make it look the way that we want it to look. And I just feel like it kind of cheapens out the piece, in my opinion. And it didn't really cheap out the cost. This thing's still a $585 statue, you know, where Vader was more near 400. Vader, if you saw with his Mythos statue, the cape and the lower parts of his armor were all being subject to the elements, you know, so that the cape was tethered, the armor was beaten, and it looks like it's turning red hot because he's close to the lava. Here you have Sidious floating just as close, you know, and he's actually open to the lava, whereas Vader is sitting on top of like a rock, or standing on top of a rock that is on the lava itself. This guy's floating over the lava, and there's no damage at all to the cloak. The cloak has no tethered edges. It has no, you know, wear and dirt and none of that stuff. But he's in the middle of the battle, and this thing looks like it's brand new, like he pulled it out of his closet. His pose, the way he's standing, and his feet so close together that it, you know, looks like Mary Poppins that he's floating. It doesn't really speak menacing to me. I see that, it looks kind of feminine in the way that he's standing, you know? Like I'm waiting for him to hold the umbrella as he's coming down. It just doesn't work for me. The under part of his tunic that he's wearing, the cloak that he's wearing beneath it, it's supposed to read like a flowing material, but the way the texturing on it is, it looks like stone. The bottom of this tunic here is completely, they didn't even sculpt anything down there. They just left it nice and smooth, you know, because we're not gonna see it anyway, so I guess that's fine, but that's literally what you got down here. It's like nothing but solid sculpt all the way in the bottom here, and the feet just poke out. You know, you're charging as much money as you are. At least, you know, all the other statues that you put up with, you put things like, you know, texture on the boots or on the shoes. I mean, you couldn't sculpt the bottom to make it look like it's a full sculpt. The cloak itself, I think the material that they used it's okay. It doesn't really feel like the cloak that the Emperor has, that I've seen at least at Disney's Galaxy's Edge, and on some of the cosplayers. I feel like the tunic has a different type of weave to it. This feels more like a napkin, the way the material feels here. Like I said before, I think the wire is really good. They did a nice, really strong wire inside of here so that you can take and form it the way you want to form it, and I think that's great. They did a good job with that, because there's other ones that I've had that it feels a little thin, so you really can't hold the weight of the material that it's holding. This here feels like it actually can hold it, and the wire runs all the way through and around the bottom. So it gives you a lot of options to create some flow, which I try to do my best with. Especially what I really wanted to do is hide the feet, and I can't get it completely to hide the feet, but I'm really trying. So I don't want to see that. So yeah, that's that. I like the little clasp that they have here at his face, so I think that's cool. The lightsaber is pretty accurate, which is dope. You know, that looks just like the lightsaber from the movie. Would have been cool if they actually gave it some different color in there to give the different types of metal, like some sheen, because his lightsaber is much more elegant than the others. You know, it has like a very nice gloss to it, golds and bronze in there and everything. I think that would have been nice if they would have painted that, because then you would have had a little bit more of a contrast in comparison to his hand. There are some parts that are, but I feel like there could have been more. The lightsaber blade, just like with the others, looks great. You got that flame coming out, and then it comes into the point. So I think that matches up really good with the new line of statues coming out. You have a swap out hand for him, you know, where you don't have to hold the lightsaber if you're worried about space. I guess that's why they would include this. I wouldn't really use this. I actually would have been happier if they gave us a swap out portrait. Opposite hand has him doing the electricity, which is cool. It's another signature thing that the Emperor does. What I don't like about what's going on here is that he's not looking where he's shooting his electricity at. You know, he's kind of like doing one of those Scarlet Witch things from like Endgame, where she's just like firing it off to the side, or I think it was more of like Age of Ultron where she did that. She comes out the door and she's like, psh, blast to the side. That's what this looks like right here. And it doesn't look menacing enough when he does that. It's just like, that's cool, but not Emperor, you know, not Sidious. So yeah. And then you got his face. So the portrait here that I see is very similar to his look in Revenge of the Sith. I think they did a good job with the portrait. They got the really nasty looking teeth, you know, and this is definitely post Revenge of the Sith that we're looking at right here. Unfortunately, Revenge of the Sith's portrait to me for the Emperor was not my favorite. Like if I was to pick one, I would have picked the one from Return of the Jedi, you know, for that look. And it would have been neat, in my opinion, if they would have given us an optional portrait with him smiling, you know, menacing and diabolically. That would have been a really cool portrait that I think I would have used over this Screaming portrait. Like I said, there's a lot of different looks for the Emperor that they could have gone with for Palpatine, you know, and I think that showing him the way that they showed him in Revenge of the Sith is not really mythos, you know, even though he is floating here and you never seen that in the movie. That's about it. This is the look of him reminds me too much of Revenge of the Sith, and that to me doesn't speak to what mythos is, right? Mythos is about telling us something or showing us something that we haven't seen before, or maybe that the mass public hasn't seen before. And there's the other outfit that he wears. I think it was the same outfit in that sense that he wore when he fought Darth Maul and his brother Savage Opress. I love that outfit. It's got color in it. You know, you got reds and maroon colors in there, and it has kind of like a top area that looks a little different. And he still has the hood. And it would have been neat to see him looking normal and not the, you know, prune face that he has there. I think that would have been much better, you know, and then showing him with like 2 lightsabers. Or if you're going to do the electricity, you know, have him like there and firing it and looking dead at what he's firing at. That looks more like intent, you know, versus just, you know, firing off from the side. Yeah, I got to say, I mean, it's what I expected to get. So I don't have a sense of disappointment in that way. But in a statue that's continuing my Mythos line that I love dearly. I collect these. I have the entire collection, you know. For a statue that's going to continue that line, that I'm disappointed. I feel like that they dropped the ball with this one. So that's my thoughts on this statue. Again, if you love this piece, you know, obviously this is my opinion. You know, you can have yours. It's fine. This is just something that I wish would have been different. So, you know, let me know in the comments below what you guys think about this one. Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? You know, let me know in the comments below what you guys think about it. And that's my thoughts. And until next time, guys, keep it marvelous and may the Force be with you.